You are listening to the Earplug Podcast Network, a Fanboys Inc. production.
Here is a complete lack of respect for the law.
Ah, hell, we're gonna be on the internet.
Gathered together from the cosmic reaches of the universe.
We're really glad that you're our friend, and this is a friendship that'll never ever end.
Is he always so cheerful?
Well, neither are you very mature.
Wonder Woman.
This is the way.
I have spoken.
I got a bad feeling about this.
I don't need no philosophy lesson here.
Oh, look, Doc, I just can't do it. I'm gonna learn to speak good.
I think it's good, except it sucks.
Textbook narcissism. Agreed.
His people are completely literal. Metaphors are gonna go over his head.
You're gonna eat lightning, and you're gonna crash thunder.
Follow me.
The tower of power, too sweet to be sour. I'm funky like a monkey. Sky's the limit and space is the place.
Are you ready?
And yes, you are watching the Angrygeeks Show, and yes, that is Jack Purcell. Jamie Dolan cannot be here with us tonight. She is trapped in New York City and Queens. Yes, the queen of the Amazons is trapped in Queens, New York. So I had to call my brother from another mother, the one and only Inkslinger Jack Purcell, to step up. And of course he did. And we're going to be talking Uncharted tonight. We're going to talk Jack Reacher tonight. We're going to talk a lot of different things tonight, for sure. And we got a killer top 5 for you guys and a question of the week. And hello, James. How you doing, brother? Son, how are you? And Aviva's in the house. Hello, Aviva. How are you? And so, Jack, what's going on in the land of comic books? What are you working on? Are you working on anything good?
What's happening, brother? I am actually working on a Batman piece right now for a signing I'm doing for the premiere of the Batman movie at Tower Theaters. That's going to be
Really? So you're going to be at the Tower Theater when Batman is the Tower Theater in South Hadley, or Hadley, Massachusetts, South Hadley, Massachusetts, South Hadley, and that's the theater that theater used to, back in the day, take, not that they're sponsoring us or anything, but they used to take reservations for movie tickets. Do they still do that?
Oh yeah, you can get your tickets.
Really?
Yeah, sure. Oh sure, it's my favorite theater.
Really?
Oh yeah,
really. So
artwork is a giveaway, and I'm going to make a Batman print. I've been struggling. I got to tell you, I've been looking at these sketches I'm doing. I'm like, it's not good enough, and it's not what I want. So I'm working on it. That's my mission tonight.
Okay. Hey, J-Bo McNeil, how are you? And Nick is in the house. And Nick said, what's up, guys? Will Jamie escape from New York? Find out next time. Yes, I know. She texts me and she goes, oh, my God, I cannot do it. I'm like, okay, it's fine. Don't worry about it. I will scramble. We will take care of it. And Jack asked Lewis about his birthday cookie. Yeah, they gave me, when I was at CH Square Collectibles yesterday for their anniversary, they gave me a big ass birthday cookie for my birthday, and it had Edge written on it. And
Chris, you're the best. Happy birthday, Chris.
Yes, Chris, happy birthday. Today is your birthday. So do any want a Batman cosplayer at the theater? I mean, we know a lot of Batman cosplayers. Does the theater want any Batman cosplayers? And Andre's in the house. What's up, Andre? How are you?
Andre, what's up? Nick,
what's up? Thank you, Nick. Thank you very much for the happy birthday wish. I don't know if Nick is thinking happy birthday to me or happy birthday to Chris, but either way, thank you. And Uncle Joe. Hey, Uncle Joe, how are you? I got your records, and
Oh, hey, Audrey.
Audrey. Hey, Audrey. How are you? And thank you, Godfather. Thank you very much. The Godfather's in the house, and he says happy birthday. And Nick says both.
Cosplay at the theater because it's going to be crazy. It's going to be on March 5th, which is the opening weekend. So I think just jamming me in there behind a table is probably about all they're going to handle.
Okay, cool. I was just wondering. I mean, when we did events, Angry Geeks does events at movie theaters, we do bring cosplayers with us. So I was just wondering. I mean, we know a heck of a lot of cosplayers, Matches Malone, who does Batman that would love to be there. So I was just, just kicking that out there.
No, good call. Good call. So anyway, I got to pull it together. I just haven't decided on. Hey, Herb.
Herb, I hope you're feeling better, and just don't forget, we do have that GoFundMe for Herb. Make sure you go out there and do that. And please do not talk about the Elimination Chamber, otherwise I may die from boredom again. No, that's a different show. That is a different show, Uncle Joe. You don't have to worry about that. So, Jack, what were you saying?
Anyway, I'm just not figuring out what I want this print to look like. It hasn't worked out yet, so I'm working on it. I just finished a piece of The Fiend, and I know we usually talk about that sort of thing on Faces and Heels, but that's a really cool piece, so I'm going to be debuting that. But I got to figure out the Batman thing, and I'm trying to plug away on my graphic novel, my next project, Alike. It's just been slow going because I've been busy trying to produce all this wrestling artwork, and that.
Well, your graphic novel, like I was helping you with that at one time. Not drawing or writing, of course, but promoting it. So let's talk about that a little bit. It has all your passions in it. It has wrestling. It has comic books. Give the people a little bit about Alike. So when we start launching that Kickstarter again, we will get it funded within 2 days. So let's talk a little bit about Alike before we get into tonight's top 5, which is fantastic, by the way, and our question of the week. So please, let's talk a little bit about Alike.
Yeah, it's funny. I've been doing some research on on Kickstarter recently, and it's very interesting. It almost just seems like unless I create nude variants and chrome variants, that I may not hit my goal. So, I'm really looking at the landscape and seeing what actually is getting funded there in a big way. So, I don't know. I mean, the bottom line is that the concept, I don't want to talk too much about, but it revolves around a group of teenagers, and there's a lot of subtlety in it where it's really kind of trying to address the normalcy and some things that people see as an area of conflict or judgment, but it's done in a really subtle way. And so I'm kind of like shoehorning in a bunch of things that bother me when I feel like, we got like people like hammering us over the head with, this and with that. Certainly not political. I mean, there's definitely some political undertones in there, but it revolves around a group of teenagers who are all very different and essentially panic and end up taking this experimental rocket ship that this one genius teenager has created. They think it's the end of the world. It turns out it isn't, but they intend to launch themselves to the moon for safety. And none of that ends up happening. And it all goes awry. And they end up on a planet where professional wrestling is sort of like the Hollywood of entertainment on this planet. So it really, a ton of professional wrestling stuff. It's really fun to draw and challenging and different. So I'm writing, penciling, and inking it. It's possible I may even color it. I don't know how I'm going to make that happen unless I invent an 8th and 9th day of the week. But ultimately, that's kind of where I'm at. So a lot of the work I'm doing now kind of feeds into the subject matter of this particular project.
Now, is it true that a certain public access television show and podcast is actually in the first couple pages of that book?
It's absolutely true. I got to tell you, I'm warming up for a potential project where I'm drawing you. And this work, I have to make a slight adjustment to one of the panels, but other than that, yeah, it's pretty fun because one of the main characters, who's one of the teenagers, is really obsessed with his technology. Like a lot of these kids today, they're married to their devices. A lot of adults too, I should.
Oh yeah,
kids. I mean, adults too. That's why we got so many distracted drivers on the road. But basically, he's obsessed with podcasts and content on social media, and Angry Geeks is his favorite show. So he's watching.
Well, thank you.
And he's into Faces and Heels as well. So he has really good taste.
Maybe he's tuning in to see the person that's usually sitting over there, not this cat. He's
It's blaming, but it could be.
all right. So what's the what is the projection? When are we going to see this Kickstarter launch? What is the projection so we can get this out there?
It's looking like it will be 2023. It's not going to happen this year. One kind of cool thing about it that I miss about current comic books and loved about the ones, especially in the 70s, was that there was often a surprise. Like if you would get Batman Family, you'd find your main story and a backup story, but sometimes you get a pinup, and sometimes there'd be a little 3-page story. I like that kind of stuff. So there's going to be 2 backup stories in this. One of them is Malice and Mistletoe, which is already completed. I've penciled, inked, and colored it. Nathan Graham Davis, the writer of Malice and Mistletoe, wrote it. That's finished. Then I'm doing an 8-page of The Cape, which is the first comic book that I self-published many, many years ago in the 90s with my brother. And that's already written and laid out. I just have to draw it. So a lot of it's underway, and the actual main story of it, I'm probably like 24 pages into it. There are many pages in different phases right now. So, it's not like I haven't started it. There's a lot of work that's been done, but it's just a slow process.
Okay, cool. Very cool. The movies this past weekend, Uncharted came out. Now, Jack, I know you played the Uncharted video game. Am I correct?
I have played it. My son is a big fan, and we just talked about going to see it today, but I'm sorry we haven't been yet.
All right, I'm going to be as vague as I can since you did not see it. Usually Jamie yells at me because I start to spoil the movie right away. So with you being here, and I'm going to be hanging out with you this weekend, both Saturday and Sunday, Friday and Saturday rather, I don't want to get slammed by you. So I'm going to be as quiet as possible without trying to spoil this. They did this movie well. Now, usually video game movies do not translate well to the screen. Angelina Jolie's Tomb Raiders did not translate well at all. They were entertaining for what they were, but they did not translate well at all. The original Mortal Kombat back in the 90s, I loved it. I thought that was great. I thought it did kind of translate well. I thought it was fantastic. So I'll put that one in the good pile. The Mortal Kombat that just came out in 2021? Nah, not at all. Did not like it. Let's talk about Uncharted. I dug it from beginning to end. I absolutely loved this movie. If you are a fan of the games, 1, 2, 3, 4, and even Uncharted Legacy, the spin-off game with Chloe and Nadine, you will like this game. And Neil is joining in, and Neil says definitely an awesome movie. You're going to enjoy it. Now, I did get goosebumps at one point in this movie where you actually see Tom Holland turn into Nathan Drake. Tom Holland stars as Nathan Drake, and of course he is Nathan Drake throughout the film. But there is one particular scene where he ceases to be Spider-Man. He ceases to be the character called Nathan Drake on the screen and becomes the Nathan Drake that we all know and love from the video games by one simple thing. He just boom. And at that point, the director and the person who does the musical score, they actually play the original Uncharted theme. They play Nathan's theme. They knew what they were doing when they did. And I said to myself, whoa, I got goosebumps. And I said it with the people that I was with. I was with Neil, Cody, and Cody's friend. I was just like, I got goosebumps. They did the film right. Characters from all the movies except for one character. Now, I was thinking throughout the whole movie, this one character, but it really wasn't. I'm going to give it, I'm going to say 4 out of 5 Angry Geek Shields, man. This movie is approved. I'm waiting. Cannot wait for the second to come out. They're going to announce a second. It kicked But in the box office is another franchise for Tom Holland and Mark Wahlberg, which at first I was not impressed with. I did not think he would be a good Sully, but he pulled it off, especially stick around. There's 2 cutscenes. Make sure you stay there. I mean, one is directly right after the screen goes black, it comes on, and then a little bit beyond the credits, another one pops in. Make sure you stay there. Mark Wahlberg will become Sully in front of your eyes as well. You're gonna love it. They have aspects from all of the games. They throw stuff in there from everything. You're gonna love it if you're an Uncharted fan. And it made me want to come home and play the games. And I threw the Uncharted collection back in the old PS4, and I started playing from the very first one. And I'm playing it now, and I believe Neil said the same thing. Angry Geeks approved, man. Seriously. 4.5 out of 5. I'm digging it. Go see it. It's awesome. You're going to have a blast. Even if you did not play the video games, go watch the movie. If you like Indiana Jones, if you like Sahara, if you like any movies like that, if you like stories like that, you're going to enjoy this film. I'm telling you, you're going to love it. Go see it. Uncharted in the theaters right now.
That is
Jack.
A strong review, Lewis. Strong review.
Dude. Oh, hey, and Mark May is in the house. How you doing, Mark?
Mark May.
Yes. I'm digging it, man. Absolutely. Another thing I want to talk about, I finally got through with watching Reacher. Rose and I finally finished it. Are you familiar with Reacher, Jack? Have you watched it?
I know everybody's talking about it. I haven't watched it yet because I just finished Ozark, and so I'm moving on.
Oh, I fell asleep. Dude, we watched all the other seasons. I started watching the newest season, and Aviva says, shh, are you saying shh on Reacher or Ozark? I'm not sure. So I can't really talk about Ozark because as I was watching Ozark, I actually fell asleep on the season 4, episode 1. I fell asleep. Rose won't watch it without me. I know I have to watch it, but I am a big fan of the Reacher books. I was a fan of the Tom Cruise movies, even though he was not Jack Reacher. I was a fan of the movies for what they were. However, now that Alan Richardson became Jack Reacher, he became Jack Reacher. Series, love it. Absolutely love it. I cannot get enough of that. Season 2 better hurry up and get here because it is like, whoa, unbelievable. Just why it is binge watch worthy. If you're gonna sit down and watch it, just seriously sit down and binge watch it. And the big guy is in the house. Angry Geek Security. What's up, Axel? And Aviva says, haven't gotten past episode 1. What? Episode 1? Like, tell me you just ran out of time, or you got, not that you got bored. Did you just like ran out of time, Aviva? Aviva's coming in saying, what the heck? You cannot put that show down. It is just amazing. Oh, okay. And Aviva comes back and says that she is just behind. I'm telling you what. Go see Uncharted this weekend. This is doctor's orders. See Uncharted. Sit down and watch Reacher. But first, come and see Jack and I. Jack, where are we going to be Friday night really quick? Let's give Faces and Heels a quick plug before we get into question of the week. Give Faces and Heels a quick plug, Jack. And where we're going to be.
It's a double header. It's going to be an awesome weekend. So Friday night, we're in East Hampton, Massachusetts at Pro Wrestling Grind. Ethan Scott's going to be ring announcing both nights, and we got a serious lineup going on. We just had Merck on the show on Faces and Heels. He's going to be wrestling Iron Rip Bison, and there's a ton of other great matches. Mike Skyros, who's our guest tomorrow, is also making his debut at Pro Wrestling Grind Friday night.
Now, tomorrow, Faces and Heels, let me just say this. We will not be live. I mean, we'll be recording, but the episode will be airing on at 7. So your comments will be shown, but not really be shown. I'm not sure if we're going to be live or not. We're coming on because it's a special type of thing going on tomorrow night. So just be patient with us, and we'll see what's happening. Okay, go.
And then Saturday night, Part 2, we are going to be at we're going to be at more pro wrestling. Let's do pro. And it is a serious, stacked show. I mean, if you watch pro wrestling or even are on the periphery of it, there's something at this show you might dig. We got Kevin Nash, who used to be known as Diesel in the WWE, back, WWF style. So
Big Sexy.
Yep. And we got Medium Sexy over here, and we got Big Sexy there. The Mouth of the South, Jimmy Hart, back from the 80s. He was Hulk Hogan's manager at one point. He is going to be there. And then we've got a stacked show with Platinum Max Caster from AEW, half of the Acclaim. Mm-hmm. He's going to be going up against O'Shea Edwards from Ring of Honor. It's going to be a banger. And we got VSK from Impact is going to be defending the Bedlam title against Travis Huckabee.
My protege. I manage him. I brought him up to the championship.
Yeah, that's what I heard. Yeah, you guys
right.
Connect with him. The Golden
That's right.
Travis Huckabee, who is also going to be at Pro Wrestling Grind. We're going to see him 2 nights in a row. And on top of that, former WWE, Lindsay Dorado, who is really intense, like a really intense guy. He's going to be going up against Evil Uno from AEW. So it is insane. And a tag team title, Fatal 4-Way, is going to be happening to decide the tag titles. It's going to be nutty.
And Axel wants to know if I will be going in cosplay wearing the Macho Man stuff. I don't know. Maybe not, but I'm definitely going to be talking to Big Kev, bringing some photos of he and I for sure. Jack, let's get into really quick this week's question of the week. And I'm so sad that Jamie's not here because this is a question that she really wanted to answer. But since we weren't on last week for Valentine's Day, and I don't want to get far behind, this week's question of the week comes from the website, and it's the favorite cereal for cartoon watching. What is your favorite cereal for cartoon watching? So, Jack, let's get with you first, because we always have Jamie answer the question first. What's your favorite cereal for cartoon watching? I mean, growing up in the 70s and 80s, we had that big bowl of cereal sitting down in front of that TV. What was your favorite cereal for cartoon watching?
I've gotten more boring as time goes on, but when those days were here and I was in front of the TV with my cereal, it was one of two things. It was Lucky Charms or it was Frosted Flakes.
Really? Okay, Frosted Flakes. Okay. Now, I don't know. Lucky Charms, I never was a Lucky Charms guy. I did not like the taste of the marshmallows. To me, they tasted gross. But yet, I liked the Monster cereals. Okay? And Joe McDonald wants to know if Jamie grew a beard. No, Jamie's trapped in Queens, New York tonight, so Jack was gracious enough to jump in. And so, oh, there she is. So I never liked the taste. Oh, and here we go. Aviva says the same as Jack.
Yeah, all right.
And Audrey comes in and says Fruity Pebbles. I was more of a Cocoa Pebble. I like the chocolate. I was more of the Cocoa Pebbles. And Neil comes up and says Vita. So, of course, Vita Von Star in the show, yes. I never liked the marshmallows in the Lucky Charms. And Joe McDonald says for a minute he thought it was Tuesday night. And Chris Hebert comes in and says, all year I look forward to Boo Berry. I also liked Kicks. And Donald Shumley is in the house, and Donald says Fruity Pebbles as well. Now, again with the Flintstone cereals, I just like the Cocoa Pebbles. But I would Count Chocula. Yeah, but see, back in the day, Chris, we didn't have to wait until Halloween to get those monster cereals. They were constantly on the shelf. Now, Fruit Brute, Boo Berry, Count Chocula, and of course Frankenberry. They were always on the shelf. They weren't just seasonal. They were always there. So you can get them at all times. Frosted Flakes was okay, but now you had your Cheerios, but I always put tons of sugar on the Cheerios. I did. I did, but my go-to cereal was always would be Count Chocula or Cocoa Pebbles. I never liked the Fruity Pebbles. Not at all.
Can I just tell you my traumatic story with Saturday morning cereal, the most disappointing one of all time?
Yeah, well, hold on one second. Mark comes in. Mark comes in and he says, Lucky Charms are rice checks with a cup of sugar on top. Rice checks? What that? That had, first of all, rice checks had the most boring box in the world. And no, the rice check. Mark, come on. Rice checks? Really? Okay, tell what you had a life changing or a life threatening?
No, it wasn't life threatening. It was like the most disappointing moment of my cereal eating career as a child on Saturday mornings. Cookie
Okay.
Crisp was the most.
Oh my God, Cookie Crisp was awesome.
Oh, come on. It tasted like garbage. I cried when I got that.
No way. That was incredible. Cookie Crisp cereal was absolutely fantastic. That was, I mean, they came out, they didn't look like cookies. They looked like domes, but dots painted on them by a black magic marker. But it was great. Cookie Crisp cereal was awesome. Now there was two flavors. There was two flavors of Cookie Crisp, but I always got the chocolate. I like chocolate chip. I like chocolate for some reason, but it was Donald comes in really quick and says, "How can anyone eat Cheerios without a bunch of sugar?" Correct. And Mark says, "My dad will buy puffed rice." Talk about disappointing. Okay, that was Chris. And Mark says it's what my parents bought. Going back to the his rice checks.
Yeah,
But no, but the
more
cookie.
concerned with the fiber than the sugar.
Yeah, the Cookie Crisp was an awesome cereal. You cried because it. Why? That was great.
Because all those ads on TV, I had hyped it up. I was like begging my mother. I'm like, you got to get Cookie Crisp. And then it finally came out. We got it, and I got home. And then Saturday morning came along, and man, it bummed me out. It was awful. I can't believe you ate that.
Oh my God, no, Cookie Crisp was awesome. Now, Ron Leary, which I owe a phone call to, and you're right, sir, I did fall asleep last night. He says he loved the small boxes, and I had to grab the pops quickly. Now, the small boxes, do they even do that today? The small boxes were awesome. Remember, you had to cut them open, and you could pour the milk inside the boxes, and that was like your little snack pack, and they don't even do that anymore. Your snack pack of eating in front of the TV. That was like super awesome. And as I was a kid, those little boxes of cereal, they used to look so freaking humongous. I bet you if we seen them today, they would probably be about this big. And Mark says that we still sell them. Mark does work at a grocery store. And well, Ron, there you go. He says he thinks so, but they still sell them. No, Mark, do they still get to cut open the cereal? You know, you used to have to cut open the box and you could pour your milk right in there. Now, has anyone ever done that? I don't think my parents ever trusted it. So I've never done that. But you can see on the back of the, and Ron says, just like Snickers, they shrank too. Chris Hebert comes in, honorable mention Apple Jacks. Applejack's green box. I remember it, but I don't remember how they taste. And Donald said that he did cut open the cereal box, and it worked great. Jack, since we're on this, and before we take our sponsor break, what was the greatest toy surprise or greatest prize in a cereal box you ever got?
I loved all the trading cards, like the superhero trading cards. I think that was it for me. I know it's kind of boring, but back then it wasn't boring.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't. But my only thing is you had to cut them out from the back.
Yeah.
Remember, they were always on the back, and you were looking for the special one, and you're like in the grocery store, in the Stop and Shop, and you're just or Pathmark, and you're throwing the boxes around. Your mom's yelling at you because you're looking for the special one. Going back to the Fruity Pebbles and the Cocoa Pebbles, they had a Flintstone Mobile that you had to put together in one, and it ended up being about this big, and you had to put it together. That was one really good price. At least I thought it was about this big, and I remember my dad built it, and then I never seen it again. So, but that was the coolest thing that I remember was that. in a cereal box. But they had other things too. They had like patches, and they had I remember the superhero cards, and I remember the other cards. But yeah, dude, what happened? Why did they stop that? And
Probably
Mark
worried
comes
about
in and says, "What was that?"
Probably worried about lawsuits. People need to be warned not to swallow plastic objects, and they're probably
Maybe. And Mark comes back and says that there are a 5-pack now for little cereals. And Ron Leary is coming back, and the sticky octopus that you could throw at the window and it would stick and crawl down. That wasn't a cereal? I remember the rubber ball. I remember about Super Ball was in the cereal. The plastic Slinkies, the small ones, were in a cereal. But I don't remember the rubber octopus ever being in the cereal. Let's take a 30-second break, and we're going to be right back with Jack Purcell right here, special guest on the Angry Geek Show.
Angry Geek Show. Brought to you by CH Square Collectibles, Comics Collectibles, and more. Magic the Gathering every Friday at 6 p.m. Located at 39 Wedgwood Drive, Suite 232, Jewett City. Comics, sports card, autographs, online sales. CH Square Collectibles, proud sponsor of the Angry Geek Show.
Yes, I'm off camera. Oh boy. Oh boy. I'm back. Anyway, the show has been preempted for some time now. But when I was on the Today Show with DW, I was doing a thing called Flea Market Finds. And I'm going to bring something up that yesterday when I was at CH Collectibles for their anniversary sale, I also stopped by a couple flea markets on my way around, and I picked up a find that I want to show off. And for these 2 books, I paid $8 total for these 2 books. And the first book that I want to pull up is a 15-cent cover. And yes, it's volume 1. Of course, it's the first print. And it just happens to be Captain America 126.
Oh, nice.
And the coupon is still attached.
What kind of book would you say it's in?
I'm going to say it's about...
Very fine?
Yeah. I'm going to say it's about... It's good. It's good. There's the corners are a little bit bent, and the top corner here is a little frayed. But the coupon is still there. Now, this Captain America 126, Jack, do you know what is significant about this book?
I don't remember that particular issue. I had it at some point, but no, I don't remember.
This is the first issue where Sam Wilson, a.k.a. the Falcon, now because of the green screen, you're really not going to be able to see him, but he's wearing the original Falcon. It says The Falcon Returns. This is the first issue ever where the Falcon puts on Captain America's costume.
Nice.
Yeah. And when I saw this, I was like, ooh, I would take this one for sure. The second book I got, Shazam, Volume 1, issue number 6.
Oh, yeah. Nice. Classic cover.
Very classic cover. And I said to the vendor, okay, I will take these 2 books. And the guy just goes, okay, what, $8 sound good for you? Yeah, here. See ya. And I ran away.
You got a bargain, my friend.
All the while, the Pirates of the Caribbean theme is playing in my head. So, yeah, for sure. I mean, I love going hunting. I mean, a lot of people want to go hunting with me. I took the main man, Eric Yako. I took him hunting with me before. You and I got to go hunting.
I'd love to.
Yes. And now, a couple weeks ago, I went to another hangout. I'm a huge Lone Ranger fan, and I sent a picture of this to Jamie, and she like freaked out over it. I found a 1973 Gabriel silver Now, do you know what that is?
I don't.
Okay, in 1973, Gabriel was a toy factory that made the toy line for the Lone Ranger, the 12-inch figures. Silver, of course, is the Lone Ranger's horse. I found the horse at a flea market. Now, he's missing the bridle, but he has the complete saddle. But and he's also missing the stand. He's completely left leg. No, he's completely intact. Silver, when you used to could put Silver on this stand, and he would do the high-o Silver thing. You can pose him like that and put the Lone Ranger on top of Silver so he can do the classic pose. The stand is gone, and so is the bridle. On eBay, the horse can range anywhere from $35 to almost $70 to $80, depending. I got it for $10. And after I paid for it, I told the guy, I said, "Do you know what this is?" And the guy goes, "No." "Is it a Barbie horse?" And I just giggled. "No, you stupid bastard." I was like, "This is Silver from the Lone Ranger." And then he goes, "How do you know?" And I had to prove it to him. I showed him the different markings and everything, and the guy was like, "Oh. See ya, buddy." Anyway, we got some comments coming in.
Give him an Angry Geek sticker?
No, I did not. And Nick says, "Savvy deal you found, Lewis." Yeah, I tried to do that. And Donald says, "Where do you go and get funds like that?" Funds or fines? Oh, Donald, I go many different places. And I always text Eric Yako. And yeah, a pirate never tells where his treasures are buried. So I text Jack all the time when I find something. I text Eric Yako, text Jamie if I find something really cool as well. And I never, ever tell anyone. Ron Leary wants to come hunting with me as well. A lot of people do. Tom Novak, and I'm just like, I want people to come with me, but I will leave you in the dust when I'm out there because I know where to go. I know what to look for. And I do give people tips. If you're like driving down the road and you see a tag sale or a garage sale, look. You just got to see what they have. I mean, if you see a little like a banker's box, just don't think it's papers. Look inside it. You never know what you're going to find. And as Eric Yako would say, somebody's eating cat food tonight. Because that's what he says to me. Because, I don't know if they're going to be actually eating cat food, but oh, yeah. Peacemaker, Jack, Peacemaker is definitely wrapped up. Have you watched any of it?
It's next on my list. My girlfriend is away for the week. I don't have this week to watch it with her. It's next week. Sorry.
Now, have you been watching it or no?
No, I just finished Ozark. That's next on the list. Peacemaker.
Okay. Now, Donald comes in really quick and says, "Do you blindfold him when you go hunting with you?" No, Eric was not blindfolded, and I have not taken Jack yet. Jack and my outings are always to CD bars to watch wrestling. Pretty much. Am I wrong? Right or wrong?
We're usually in VFWs and wedding halls.
Wedding halls, yes. Yes, all right. And Aviva says that we did watch and finish. And Mark comes in and says, "Loved it and glad they announced season 2. And Chris Hebert says, "Great series, love James Gunn's humor." I tell you what, I got home on Thursday. And my ritual on Wednesdays and Thursdays is Wednesday, I would come home, start dinner quick, jump in the shower, run downstairs, watch whatever Disney put out on Disney Plus because they release their shows on Wednesday. On Thursdays, I'd come down, do the same thing, jump on HBO Max. When I saw what happened on last week's episode, the season finale of Peacemaker. Jack, do you know what happened? You must have seen spoilers online.
Yeah.
I was like, it was like for me, like anything. I stood up, I screamed, I was like, "Oh my God, it just blew me away. And to see Momoa himself actually talk was just it was just insane. And they did such a good job with that show. And I'm actually going to take the Peacemaker and I've been doing this all along, as Jamie and I have been. She has not yet watched the Peacemaker because she doesn't think the Peacemaker is a show for her. But I have been rating it alongside a Book of Boba Fett. But I'm going to have to take Peacemaker and rate it. You look funny, Jack. What was the funny look for?
She's on the Angry Geeks and she doesn't think Peacemaker is for her. What's going on?
No. She was.
Did she watch Deadpool?
Yes, she did.
She sees Deadpool. She'll love it.
Exactly. That's what I'm trying to say. Now, Rose feels the same way. She doesn't want to watch Peacemaker because she doesn't see John Cena that way. And I'm thinking maybe Jamie feels the same way.
Wow, interesting. Judging
yes,
John.
It is. If you really think about it. Now, you can judge. Now, you watch Angry Geeks, you listen to us, and you watch us, so you know. Jamie likes something. If she cries, she likes it. Rose, okay. Now Rose, she watches something that's comic book related or something. If it keeps her attention and if she likes it, you know it's going to be a bona fide hit. That everyone will like it. Like The Mandalorian, she loved it. She sat there, she watched it. Okay. The Book of Boba Fett, she watched 2 episodes. I don't know. And now you see what people are thinking about that out there, how the mixed reviews.
Right.
So it was like, okay. The Peacemaker, Rose goes, I don't want to see Cena like that. No, I can't see John Cena like this. Now, Aviva is coming in, and Aviva says it was hard to get into the first episode. I get that Jamie doesn't appreciate stupid humor. Then again, look who she's business partners with. Point taken. But she and you gauge it by her and Rose. But the show is a hit. It's fantastic. And I try to tell them both, if you like Deadpool, if you like Guardians of the Galaxy, if you like the Suicide Squad, you're going to like this movie.
Yeah, it's no more dumb. I mean, I don't know what the difference is.
I don't know, but the whole cameo thing was just unbelievable. It was fantastic. I loved it. I can't wait for season 2. I mean, I hate the fact, like, let's go back to Reacher for a second. The streaming services such as HBO Max, such as Amazon Prime, they give you their episode, their series, and or Disney Plus as well, 8 episodes, 10 episodes, and they're done, and it's like, oh, come on, I want more. Give me more. Same thing with The Witcher. I want more. And now we gotta wait. Well, you gotta wait till 2023. 2024, you gotta wait. I don't want to wait. I want it now. I want it now because it's just that damn good. Maybe in my old age, I'm just getting, you know.
Well, we got coming out next month.
Yes, 2 weeks.
Is it 2 weeks? I thought it was the end of March.
I thought it was the beginning of March.
Oh, maybe I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong because I don't want to wait.
I hope you're wrong too. And Mark says Boba rode that Rancor like a boss. What's not to like? Exactly. Well, it was the beginning of it. I guess that it and Aviva comes in and she says end of March.
Hey, see, Aviva and I are on the same page.
So what am I going to watch now? Maybe I can finally start to get into the Ozark and not fall asleep during that first episode. I don't know what happened. I just crashed. Blah. I was out. All right, let's bring in this week's top 5. Are you ready? This week's top 5 is once again brought to you by Alternate Universe LLC in Milford and New Haven. Stop by, see them, tell Eric and his crew that the Angry Geeks sent you. Make sure you stop by and get them, especially at Free Comic Book Day. They are Angry Geeks approved.
Language is the key to world peace. If we all spoke each other's tongues, perhaps the scourge of war would be ended forever.
4.
Precision, Dick. Precision. The key to success in life as well as in sports.
3.
Circuit's on the blink, I'm afraid.
How can it be?
Human mechanisms are made by human hands, Robin. None of them is infallible. It's a lesson which must be faced.
2.
You can't get away from Batman that easy.
Easily.
Easily.
Good grammar is essential, Robin.
Thank you, Batman.
You're welcome.
1.
Just from looking at you, I'm sure your presence here is innocent.
Appearances are deceiving, Batman.
Appearances, perhaps. Instinct, seldom.
Now, it is just fitting that you are here for that top 5, because I can guarantee that you would do exactly what Batman did to Robin. But you can't escape Batman that easy and just correct him easily. Good grammar. You would do that, just like Jamie would do that. What did you think of the top 5? What did you think of the top 5 Batman wisdom of the Bat?
I'm not arguing with Batman. You know me. I'm a Batman guy. I'm all over it. No argument here.
All right. What was the greatest piece of the wisdom there? Do you agree with all of the wisdom?
I'm following along with almost anything that, even if it's the Adam West Batman, I'm going to go along with it tonight. I'm in a congenial mood.
Now, are you excited for this Batman, for the Batman to come out?
Can't wait. I can't wait. Yeah, I'm really excited about it. And I just wish people, I try to block out as much of the internet nonsense as I can of people's opinions. But the bottom line is just go see it. I think they're going to set up the world. It doesn't mean that the Riddler and the Penguin are the main villains. It doesn't mean anything. You don't know until you see it. But I do think if you and I know some of this stuff better than we should probably, but I'm thinking it sounds an awful lot like they're setting up the Court of Owls for the sequel. And I like that.
Oh, yes. Yeah, I do too. Now, how do you feel? This casting has been going on, the casting with Robert Pattinson for 3 years. 3 years we've been talking about this, and people were up in arms. If you really go back and think about it, people were up in arms about every casting of Batman, going back to Michael Keaton. Everything that people were up in arms about everyone they casted as Batman. Michael Keaton, Val Kilmer, George Clooney. They were up in arms about everyone. Even Christian Bale, when the internet was just a baby, if you went on message boards or any type of board, I don't want a newsy kid as my Batman. I will never, ever forget that comment. Not that I wrote it. I'll just never forget it.
Ugh.
But everyone's going to complain. Guarantee it. But when that trailer hit, everyone was like, oh my God, I Avengers. They all loved it. I want to see it. And I'm going to reserve my judgment until I see it. However, with that being said, and reserving judgment being said, I'm not digging the way the Riddler looks. I'm not digging that at all.
But I think it's all about context, out of context, it looks ridiculous to me. But I'm hoping that it's going to make sense in the context of the movie, and let's see what happens. But when I saw that action figure on the shelf, I did think, not digging this. It's not for me. But that's the action figure, and again, it's out of context. So I think after I see the movie, maybe I'll feel differently. Maybe you will too.
Well, see, that's the thing, and that's what's going to suck, because I seen the action figure and I was like, I had it in my hand, and
the Bruce Wayne one's awful too.
I had it in my hand. Another birthday present.
Nice.
Look at that.
That's
yes,
awesome.
I know. I had it in my hand, and I'm like, no, and I put it back. And apparently, a lot of other collectors did the same thing. Now, if it does work in the movie, and if it becomes a major to-do in the movie, and things do metamorphosize, so to speak, in the movie, then everyone's going to go out and start hunting down that action figure. Then you're not going to be able to find it. That's what's going to happen. That's my fear. But I'm like, what? I don't know. I'm just not digging it. Patterson, the bat costume, I like it. I like the bat costume. I just don't like everybody else's costume. The Penguin, oh my God, I'm digging the way he looks. I like that a lot, and I really like how they're referencing the Iceberg Lounge.
Yes. I'm not digging anything I see in the trailer quite yet, aside from Batman and the Batmobile. The rest of them, like Penguin, yeah, I think it's okay. I think Catwoman looks kind of silly right now, but again, keeping it in the context, it sounds like this is like a year one type thing. They're all just kind of beginning these journeys as these characters. So, again, I'm not going to judge it until I see it, but from what I do see, it's lukewarm for me right now. But
okay. Well, my only gripe is, and for those of you watching and listening, maybe you can agree with this. How many times do we have to see Batman shoot up from the bottom of the stairs of Gotham City Police Department and go straight up or straight down? How many times do we have to see that? I mean, every movie he does that. I mean, how many times do we have to see that? Granted,
do we need to see the origin too? Can we skip that?
And Matt is coming in, and Matt says, "Lewis, I'm with you. Costume design sucks." No, we're not going to see the origin. They said.
Good.
I read it in a few different places, including on the WB website. This is a year one. He's already out being Batman. Now, this is what I don't really understand. He's already been Batman for a while, and all this stuff is going on. But then when he runs into the people in the trailer, unless it's a flashback, the people with their faces painted that look like the Joker, and they say to him, "What are you supposed to be?" And he goes, "I'm vengeance," and beats the crap out of the guy. If he's been doing this for the years, shouldn't they know him already?
Right. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe he did. Maybe he just got the costume. Maybe he was just running around as Bruce Wayne in a black leather jacket or something.
Oh, I can dig that if they were doing that, because then that would go back to year one when he was doing stuff as Matches Malone, not our friend Matches Malone, but as Matches Malone with the scars and stuff. I can dig that. That would be fantastic, but I don't know. Time will tell. We only have a couple weeks to wait,
right?
So, I don't know. But the Batmobile itself, I'm digging it. I am definitely digging the muscle car.
It looks awesome. Great design. All about it.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's see what happens. I want to be psyched about it. I got to say, Black Adam looks better than I was expecting based on what
oh my God. When I saw Uncharted the other night, they showed the 2022 Needs DC Heroes trailer. To see Hawkman on the big screen just blew me away, because his wingspan went across the entire screen, and I was like, oh my Lord, it was beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. Atom Smasher running was just beautiful, and again, goosebumps. Dr. Fate just flying across the screen and just hovering there. It was like, whoa.
There's hope. DC Comics. There's hope.
Yeah, and now Aquaman. I mean, this year we have Black Adam, we have Aquaman, Aquaman 2, and we have Flashpoint all coming out. What do you think of the new Batsuit with Michael Keaton?
It's fine. It's fine.
Now, do you really think it's Michael Keaton in that Batsuit, or are they playing some shuck and jive going on here?
Well, apparently it's him in the Batgirl movie as well as Flashpoint. So I'm not sure what they're doing. I don't know, but I'm open to whatever it is. I love Flashpoint, the comic, and I'd like to think that the movie is going to echo that.
I don't know. Yeah, hopefully it will. Jack, we're coming up on the hour. Tell everyone where they can find you. Are you open for commissions? If you can get your commissions, I know your pricing on your commission is very hot, very good, very competitive, and right on the mark in money. pardon the pun. But where can they find you online? And I know you got your Twitter back, but if somebody wants a commission, what type of commission would you draw? What type of commissions won't you draw? And what do they need to do for reference material to get that to you so you can take care of their commission needs?
Yeah, thanks. I mean, I try to be as accommodating as I can. I don't do like any kind of like, porn-ish type things. I've had people ask about Superman and Wonder Woman doing this and doing that. I don't do any of that kind of stuff. But, any kind of heroes you want, villains, whoever.
I know, I ask all the time.
I do likenesses, so if you're looking for yourself as a superhero or a pro wrestler, you got to give me some well-lit photographs of yourself. And then we go from there. So I do black and white and color. There's all kinds of stuff. Just hit me up and we can work it out. If you're on Patreon, if you check out Jack Purcell on Patreon, there is a support level where if you support it for a few months, you get a commission and you can get basically what you want. So that's one way to do it. You can find me at Jack Purcell Inc. on Facebook and Instagram. I am on Twitter, but I'm quiet over there. I don't really direct people over there to see my stuff. I'm not doing a lot of posting, but Instagram and Facebook, Jack Purcell Inc. INK. Hit me up. I do put little bits of my artwork, but the only place you can see the actual completed pieces is on Patreon. And if you see me at an appearance.
And what's your next appearance, Jack?
I will be at Blitzkrieg Pro in Springfield, Massachusetts at the White Lion Brewery right downtown. Great beer, great wrestling, great art. So it'll all be in one place. It's going to be Saturday night, the 26th at 7 p.m. And then I will be, I think it's from about 6 to 7:30 on March 5th, next weekend at the Tower Theater in South Hadley for the Batman premiere. I will be there with some Batman artwork, some Batman comics and DC comics that I'll be signing if anyone is interested in picking something up, and my commission is open. So I am there and hoping to meet some fans and have some fun.
All right, and before I get to my thing, tell everyone about your podcast.
Ooh, our podcast, Faces and Heels podcast, the mecca of professional wrestling podcast. The Northeast so strong in professional wrestling, we needed a podcast to match. So Louis Perry and myself, Faces and Heels, where every Tuesday night we're going to be on Facebook. You can find us there at Faces and Heels and Faces and Heels podcast on Instagram. And we've got guests from all over the place. We just had Bobby Orlando, who's one of the most interesting, personality-filled, hot performers on the indie circuit. We had him on last week. Mike Skyros is going to be on this Tuesday night, tomorrow night. And this guy's red hot. He's just won a championship. We're going to be talking to him about that. And he will be at Pro Wrestling Grind in East Hampton on Friday night, the 25th.
And I am Louis Perry for that Wonder Woman, Jamie Dolan. You can find us at theangrygeekshow.com on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and on TikTok. And you can also find Jamie at thatwonderwoman.1 on Instagram. Make sure you tune in next week when we'll have a special guest. I got to look at the calendar to find out who it is. I'm Louis, that's Jack, and Jamie is in New York. We'll see you guys all next week. Stay classy, San Diego.
This has been an Earplug Podcast presentation. Found on earplugpodcast.com, iTunes, SoundCloud, and wherever your favorite podcasts are found.